I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome back to the I May Destroy You panel. I'm your host, Sierra Stafford, and with me tonight I have my lovely co-host with me. So I have Lauren, Tanai, and Sean. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey.
I'm doing good.
Doing good.
Good. So tonight we're covering episode 4, and it was titled "That Was Fun." Now I'm gonna be honest. From watching, I don't think this episode was fun, but we're gonna talk more into it and talk to what you guys think and what the people think. So this episode, we kind of got to see more Arabella back to her reality. So last episode, she was kind of like living her best life, living very carefree. But this time, she was kind of back in her moment, kind of having those flashbacks of what happened. In the beginning of the episode, she's talking with her therapist. Now, I'm glad she got a therapist, but I felt like this therapist kind of gave her more of a opening to what is going on with her, how to heal from it, and those type of things. And so as we kept watching the episode, we see the flashback that she's having with the man in the restroom stall that we still don't, well, we know who he is, but we haven't got the full story about why this has happened. So starting off about her therapy, do we think this therapy is helping her in this episode? Or do we think this is just a starting point and it's going to take her a minute to really grasp how to heal from this? And I will ask you, Lauren, because your face is giving me...
Yeah, she didn't seem to open up to the therapist much at all. She even, kind of jokingly, I don't want to say jokingly, but she took light of the situation and took out her phone to see if her friend would be okay with painting, So I don't think she's taking it too seriously right now. I think, she's going to have to go a few more times to feel comfortable opening up.
I agree. Okay. What about you, Sean? What do you think?
Well, I think therapy on paper works really well. And then you show up to the spot and you're like, wait, we're going to talk about me and just me. And then all my like demons and secrets and weird stuff. Like it's intense. I mean, I've only done it a few times myself and it took me a hot minute. So and I didn't even have like a tragic thing happen. So I can't imagine the thought of talking to a stranger, because it's this weird thing, I think, too. When you talk to a stranger, sometimes it's easier. But I think it eventually we'll get there. But for now, I think she's still in shock and she really hasn't dealt with it.
Yeah, I agree. Sanaa?
And going off of that point, I think it was also important to see, because as Black people and the Black community, we kind of, I think we're starting to get better when it comes to therapy, of like being open to it. But for the most part, therapy and Black people do not go hand in hand for the most part. So, everything stays in the home. And I think that's also another point of the part of the scene of why she's not opening up as much, because, as Black people, we're also told, what goes on in the home stays on in the home. Don't go out telling the streets your business. So I think that mindset kind of is still in her head. So when it comes to actually, going to a therapist, it's harder for her.
Yeah, and I think more so the situation, it was so traumatizing what happened to her, and also too, she's still trying to put together what really happened though. Like she's starting to have those memories that are coming back, from what people have told her. And I want to say really fast, where the heck has Sam been? It's like he's been a little MIA the past. Well, last episode was a flashback, so I mean we probably didn't see him, but he's been still MIA. So he's still on our radar. But I do think the reason why, though, it's hard for her because of what has happened. And I feel like she doesn't even know fully to even tell the therapist, like, hey, this is what I'm going through, And we kind of saw throughout this episode, she was very having paranoia when it came to drinking. So we were introduced to Zain. So Zain, he's a new client that the agent brought on to help her write her, do the writing process. And they went out to lunch or whatever, went to a bar, and every time she saw a cup or alcohol, she just was just paranoid. And we haven't really seen her act like this since she first left the first episode. So I want to talk a little bit about that really quickly. Do we think that she's going to lose it? Because I mean, she was pretty shook. She didn't want any beverages of her own, and I mean, it really traumatized her. So do we think that that she's going to keep getting worse from this, or we think she's going to get better? What are our thoughts about this scene? Any Sanaa?
I think it might get a little bit worse, especially if she doesn't open up and talk to the therapist or talk to anyone. I mean, and I don't blame her because her friends ain't nothing. Her friends leave her. I mean, shoot, she probably think he's gonna leave her too if she turns her back. It's just too much.
Yeah.
I think she probably is going to like be second guessing everything because no one can be trusted.
But I'm sorry, real fast. But last episode, she was out drinking and living her best life. And then it's like now that you're back in your hometown, I don't know, maybe it's a therapy, but I'll let you guys say what you have to say. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I like that, you know, it's kind of catching up with, like, the reality is catching up with her. You know, that we're seeing that it's manifesting, you know, like she don't even want to drink a water, let alone a real drink. And so there's this kind of paranoia setting in. I think there's this weird juxtaposition going on because she's making kind of these poor choices and then having the repercussions of them. So, you know, it's like this equals this, you know, like you need to see this therapist so you can stop doing this, so this can stop, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's a kind of a vicious cycle right now for her.
Yeah, I agree. Lauren?
I agree with all of you guys said. And I definitely think it'll get better before it gets worse.
Yes, I agree. Now let's talk more about that. Kind of gave us some little, I guess, fun, as they like to call the episode. But Zain. So, like I said, Zain is the new guy on board, the Indian guy on board. And you know, I was kind of surprised when their relationship kind of went left real quick. You know, I'm thinking he's there. He's been, you know, cool about it. They relate that, you know, he goes to he went to Cambridge University, so they're kind of making a connection. And then it goes from boom, you want to kiss? Boom, let's go to my bedroom. Boom, take off your clothes. Boom, let's take off the condom. Oh, so it just kept escalating. So I just want to know, did you guys think anything was going to happen? And also, do we like Zain and Arabella together? Are we here for them, or are we still Arabella and Biagio? And I think I'm gonna go with one of the ladies first because I'm feeling it. Go for
First of all, Bellagio has not hit my girl Annabella up in a minute, okay? So we are just exiting him out. He hasn't asked her if she's safe at home. Did she eat breakfast? You know, can I call you a cab to get home? Nothing. Nada. So he's off, okay? We're gonna have to have a girls' night because she can't keep messing with him. Second of all, Zain took the condom off. I was like, you do not take the condom off when you're having intercourse with somebody and you do not let them know that you're taking off the condom. And then you want to blame her and say, well, you didn't feel it. No, she wasn't feeling anything. She was here for a fun and good time. Obviously not a long time, because then she would have known about the condom being off. That part blew me the most. I'm like, but he just slightly made up for it for buying her the morning after pill, the little plan B, slightly, but I'm still not feeling him.
She could catch something, so they ain't nothing. They don't mean nothing.
Okay, so at this point, because he probably helps everybody with their books, he probably helps everybody. Okay, he probably reads a lot of books by that. And I'm just done with him. At this point, we are, ladies, we're going to have to, and Sean, you know what? You pull up too.
All right.
And we're going to pull up and we're going to take her out and show her a real good time.
I'll keep an eye out for strange drinks. How's that?
Right. Yes. Look, have our back, because listen, it's cold out here. What you got, Lauren?
Honestly, I have an opinion, but Sean, he looked like he wanted to jump in a few times. I want to hear what Sean has to say.
Well, okay, just in a little bit of defense of Bellagio, technically she has not told him what happened yet. So I feel like he might get him on a plane if he finds out, because I think he's really into her. I think he doesn't show it as much, but I think we need to give him the benefit of the doubt until he at least finds out before we just blow him off. Because
wait
remember,
a minute, Shine. So you telling me that if your mate, somebody that you like and you get busy with a little bit here and there, they come to your country and you don't ask them if they get home safe, or at least call her a cab.
Well, he did technically call her a cab, but
yeah, he paid for her cab home.
He paid for the cab.
Yeah, but when
I mean,
she
I don't
landed,
think.
he didn't. Yeah,
But remember too, she ignored him a bunch of times. He tried to
That's
call.
normal.
Well, I'm just saying. You saying he's not reaching out. I say he did, and she ignored him.
She can't seem thirsty too fast, though. She waits for him.
Well, okay, I'll get off Bellagio because you're obviously
You
guys
can't
are
let
not.
all the camels drink your water. You can't let all the camels taste the water.
That was going to be my next point. I mean, I definitely am feeling every time I watch a show, I'm the old head in the club because people are having so much sex so casually, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, geez, you just met this guy and you don't even like him, and now you're having sex with him? Like, what? Like this guy Zain? He's not. They shouldn't be having sex.
I think it's funny that she was more. Well, it's not funny, but I mean, I think it's crazy though how she was more paranoid about the drinks, but you're not paranoid to just throw yourself back in the sex thing. Not kind of like backslapping in her face, obviously, but it's kind of like I feel like I'd be more paranoid to have intercourse after something like that happened to me. But she's just like.
The first thing she says is not what the fuck about the condom. She says, "Oh, I gotta get a pill now." It's like, wait, what? You need to slap this dude in the face first of all. You can go get Ben to give him a beat down. F this guy.
Yeah,
Sean's daughters, first of all, they will not be bringing just anybody home. I'm just gonna say that.
Yes, if I ever do have one, no, those boys will rule the day if they mess with me. But I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Lauren, what are you thinking?
I mean, I just felt like I agree with Sierra. You're paranoid about the drinks, but you invite this man home and to your house. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but if I don't know you, I'm not inviting you back to my apartment. You know what I mean? We can find a mutual place, not the first night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I agree, like, you're paranoid about the drinks, but you just, let's have sex. Like, let's bring it to the bedroom. I was just like, okay. But you saw she did have a little traumatic experience where she kind of like pushed him off a little bit. And I was like, okay, that's normal. But then it was like, oh, you took off the condom? What's wrong with you? I would have flipped the bed upside down. You don't know me. Did you get tested? Who have you been with? Like, I would have fought him. I literally would have fought him if he took this condom off and I do not know you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of thought she knew though, because when it happened, she kind of looked at the ground, so I thought she saw it. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I took it off." And then she was like, "You did what?" So I mean, I think she's gonna be okay. I thought I was gonna try to make a dramatic twist, like she's gonna end up pregnant 2 episodes later. Hopefully not. But I think she's gonna be okay. They got the pill. And really fast, I want to say she has a history of always going out with the guy after they do it. Her like they always leave the house and go somewhere. Like
they got Cheetos, so there's that.
She gets hungry. After working out. She worked up an appetite. She's like, you want to work with me? Come work with me again. Let's go. Okay. And I want to go back to Biagio really fast too, because we kept bringing him up, but she also had a flashback. She had a flashback about him while in that moment, and she also texted him a picture of the guy's pants. So this thing kind of threw me off. So she just basically sends the dude. She's I'm pretty sure it's messing around. And then she sends him a picture of the guy's pants in the bed, and he goes, "You're having a wild night," or like he's cool with it. So back to what we talked about, like what do we think? Or I think it was you, Sean, that kind of talked about or their relationship. I mean, if you're acting like that, you clearly don't care. And if I feel like for her to be bold enough to text him that, it kind of shows how they stand. So do you guys agree, or do you think this is just a joke or something? Because I mean, if I'm letting you know what I'm doing and you're talking about some condoning it, well, clearly we're not what we thought we were. So what do you guys think?
I mean, he's one interesting man. I'm gonna just say this much: it couldn't be me. Okay, it could not be me. And I mean, maybe he's messing around with somebody else, or maybe they have like this little open thing. But like you said, if he's not worried about it, maybe she's just doing this also to like feel liberated and feel like, you know, I got my people too. You know, maybe that's why she's having sex with this new guy. But or plot twist, maybe he's just saying that so then it could just, you know how sometimes guys just be faking the funk. They know they're a little hurt.
But why send it? Why send that to him? Like, what's the point?
I think she wanted to make him jealous because remember, she really wanted him to be her boyfriend. She was like, so are we going to date? Do you want to be my boyfriend? And he's like, I'll call you when I feel like it. So I feel like this was her way of saying, you know what? You don't want to wife me up. I found someone else, and here's your competition.
I agree, Lauren.
I love what he said, though. He essentially said, oh, English guys are shit, so no big deal. You know, you're kind of slumming it. You could be with this, but you're slumming it with the British guy. I'm interested, ladies, would you do this? Would you make this move, this text? Because I feel like it was all to get a rise out of him.
No way.
No.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
Okay.
No.
What did Megan? She should have did something different. What did Megan the Stallion say? Send him a pic of somebody else, okay? And that's what she should have did. She should, if you know the lyrics, you know the next part. But that's what she should have did, was send a picture of she could have got it on Google and sent a pic of somebody else. And she wouldn't even had to go through this condom stuff. She wouldn't have had to go through all of this morning after and all this extra drama. You gotta think smart, ladies. Not saying that I do that, but I'm just saying.
Wow, I think you might have shown your cards there, Sanaa.
Look, it's okay, sis. We won't tell nobody, but who's all watching? But I look, only us know. But I do think that I think she cares about him. Like I think we're all saying that she cares about him, but she's kind of feeling his vibe. Like, you're not trying hard enough for me, so I'm gonna let you know that it's other people out here trying, and we'll see. I mean, because they're kind of still weird. Their relationship's kind of weird, so we'll just see. We'll play it like that. But
well, Sierra, are they trying, or is she just giving it away?
She gave it away.
Okay.
Because there was just no point in showing him that. I didn't see the purpose. I didn't see the point. I just thought it was his business, but you know. But moving forward, who is showing us more relations and more things we didn't see is Kwame. So and I actually I think Kwame, it's his time to see more of him. We've always seen him as a supportive friend, but I love that this is more focused on him. So we do know that, you know, Kwame's gay. So, you know, Kwame got the dip. You know, he met up with if you don't want to know what dips is, it's like the slang for booze and, you know, people. But he met up with a guy, and, you know, they did something in the bathroom stall. So that was the first guy. He worked at the grocery store. Then the second guy, they meet at the dance, or not dance, working out. They're working out. And then he goes on a dating app and wants to link up do a three-way with another guy. So, and I noticed they love three-ways in this show. I don't know what it is.
Really
but
do.
Yeah, I'm like, do y'all just love this? Like, is this a new thing? But so I want to say Kwame, I'm kind of saying, like, I don't know, do we get player vibes, or do we get I'm just living my best life, I'm just doing me? What do we get before we get too deep into what's actually going on? Overall, now that we see, you know, his relationships and all, you know, what he's dealing with, do we get player, or do we get, you know, just living my best life?
I get they don't know how to wash their hands vibes, because when they got out that bathroom stall, none of them, even after having their little intercourse, I saw that little water on the hands and kept it going. That's why the corona is still here. I just wanted to put that out here. But I think she's a little player.
Not the corona.
Wow.
Girl, we gotta get the point.
You know what?
I salute you though. Wash your hands if you're gonna come out the bathroom. Especially after what you just did.
And the bathroom was dirty at that. It was the grocery store. And you went, you know you a player when you go and you got grandma in one aisle looking for the rice and stuff. And he said, I'm gonna be right back, grandma. And he goes and okay. He let all his grains out.
Yes, he did. I feel like not so much player. I feel like he's just going with the flow. If it happens, it happens. So maybe living his best life, but it's like a slight step up from that. You know, it's like he's taking living your best life to the next level. He's going wow. He wilding.
I like that.
Living
I
your
like that.
extreme
Yeah, I agree.
life.
It's a certain extent to live that best life, because once you start wilding, we're gonna talk about it. Things like that start to happen. So keep it cute.
Well, I guess, you know, we hear about that it factor, and I think Kwame has it because everyone is like, this guy is super sexy. They're into him. So I think it's kind of like, well, sure. Okay. No problem. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, this next scene. So, you know, they met the guy, and I was kind of shocked. And I think, Lauren, you said his name was, correct us if we're wrong, guys. Daniel.
So there's Damon and Malik.
Damon. So he was pretty down to go with him. Now, I do want to say, I love how I don't love it, but it was kind of interesting how they set up the scene before they walk into the guy's house. So the guy they meet on who Kwame meets on the dating app, you know, before they walk into the apartment, they kind of have like a little mini moment. And, you know, he kind of just kisses him, and it's kind of like prepping themselves, I guess, as they go in. And the Malik guy, he's just forward. He's just, as soon as he opens the door, he's like, what's up? I'm with it. And I was kind of saying, he came out very aggressive to me too fast. And I felt like Kwame was kind of here for it, but then he was not here for it. And it was very awkward for an old dude to just be sitting there watching them. So did you guys think that it was awkward that he will agree to go and not participate? He'll just sit there and watch. And then once they start, he's like, I don't want to do this. So it's kind of like, what was the point? So do you guys feel like you know what was the point of that whole scene? Because I'm just like, what?
You know, not all, but, you know, some people just like to fake the funk. You know, I think he really thought like, oh, I could be, you know, I'm going to be down for this. I'm all for like the 3 ways and just the watching. I'm a freak me. And he realized, this is not you. This is really not you. Because I know everybody has been in that situation where you think, you know, you're a tough body, or you think like, oh, I could, you know, I'll try this. And whether it's like food or whatever it is, you look and you're just like, this really is not me. Like, it just doesn't sit right in your soul. So, I mean, that's probably the vibe he got. Like, this really doesn't align with me and who I am. So I'm just gonna go. That's what I would probably do. That's what I'm gonna do. I wouldn't have put myself in that position, but
I think, you know, much like going to that therapist, you know, it looks good on paper. You know, it sounded good in my head, and then I showed up, and then it was wow. Like, especially because that other guy was so aggressive. And I do like how Kwame kind of teased him. It's like, you know, I don't necessarily want to do anything with that guy, and he's like, you ain't doing nothing at all, son. So, but then I did like their kind of nice intimate kiss moment, because that was probably the most genuine moment of the whole show for me. Like, because it was like a real thing, because this guy, it's all new for him, and he's still trying to figure it out. And, you know, I think Kwame's a good guy to figure some stuff out with, because he's not gonna Malik you. You know what I mean? Like, wow. So yeah, that's kind of where I was coming from.
Okay. It's so interesting because, Sean, you said it. It's something new for him. You could see he was still having trouble figuring out who he was. He couldn't even say the word gay. So that shows us, the audience, he hasn't truly accepted that he is a gay man. So I just thought it was extremely weird that even for Kwame, this guy can't even tell you he's gay, and you're just already going to invite him to a 3-way. That's what blew my mind. This man can't even fully say he likes you, and you're just going to expose him to that. So I definitely thought it was weird that he agreed to go. I thought it was weird that Kwame invited him. And once they got there, I was thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe Damon just wants to watch. Maybe he just wants to see how 2 men interact with each other. So that's what I thought he was going to use it as a learning tool. But I think he left, not necessarily because it was uncomfortable for him, but because he actually genuinely liked Kwame, and he did not want to see Kwame interact with anyone else that way.
Okay, I take
That just hurt my
my
feelings.
Yeah, I take it back then. I agree with you. Lauren and Sean, y'all got me thinking different. Maybe that is, this is the purpose of all of this. So then we can see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because I really did think that he didn't went beyond his own limit, and he just realized this is not for me. This is not it. But now I'm looking at it. Maybe that's true. Maybe he didn't want to see his future boo get piped down by somebody else.
Oh,
so wait, you guys, after seeing that, you think that he's still gonna want to deal with Kwame?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I mean, you're watching someone else have intercourse with someone else that you agreed to go to, and you didn't participate in. And then I also want to say, Malik was just a hot mess from the beginning. He was kind of like, I don't want him to join us, only you.
Yes.
And Kwame was like, okay, so I'm like, did y'all not come in together? Like, you came in with him. You need to ride with him.
And Malik better watch out, because Kwame should have said, you better sit tight before I make you watch. That's what he should have said.
Well, that Malik is a big dude, and we saw what happens when a big dude gets on top of you. So I don't know. I was terrified by that guy.
Yeah, let's go. I'm glad you just navigated right into it for us. So yeah, as we've seen, so he did leave, and Kwame and Malik, they finished what they were doing prior, and Kwame was like, okay, bet, the typical, you can tell he's done before, like, hit it, quit it, bet, peace, I'm out. But Malik was like, no, stay. Now, at first I'm like, okay, Malik must really be feeling him. I thought it was like a genuine, like, oh no, just stay, cuddle, whatever people do after they finish. But he was being very he was being very forceful onto him, and he basically raped him. And that was so hard to watch, especially seeing that Kwame he kind of set all this up. So for him to set this up, him to be sold down, do all this, and see that happen, it kind of broke my heart. So did you guys expect, we kind of seen Malik was very aggressive in the beginning, but did you guys expect this ending to happen? And to see how it scarred Kwame, he called Arabella afterwards, and I'm surprised he called her but didn't tell her what was going on. So I was kind of shocked, like maybe he just was like, maybe not right now. I can't tell her this right now. But he's crying, and he just left alone. So I feel like he may have just lost maybe Damon, because who knows if he's going to get him back, and then you get raped. So it was a lot going on. So overall, with all that, what was your guys' thoughts about all of that? And anyone could go.
I'll just kind of jump in. Obviously this was a hard scene. The end of this was very hard to watch. But I'm glad they did it because, and I don't know if we'll get it fully with Arabella, but you see how quickly this turned super bad, super fast, and all of a sudden this guy's getting raped, and then it's over, and then he's out. And I think this happens, so much, I think, with women, men and women, unfortunately. I think obviously it happens with men on men too, but I think it's so, you don't understand how quickly this thing could happen. And it was like terrifying. And so I'm with you, Sierra. It broke my heart for him. And, he just kind of got up and left. And then when he calls her, I think it was because the way she answered. And now, of course, she had no idea what was going on. But the way she answered was like, I can't have this conversation with her right now. She's kind of in a different world. And I need her to be intimate with me right now. And she's not there. So I got to kind of move on from this and do it later.
Yeah, I agree.
I completely agree. I think the way that Arabella answered the phone, she was kind of up and light and happy, and he could tell. And he was just like, yeah, I can't do this. So I agree with that part. But as far as the rape scene, oh my gosh, I'm like, Michaela, girl, why is everyone getting raped? You got raped. Kwame getting raped. Poor Terry, she low key, she didn't necessarily get raped, but she got played. I'm just like, why so much trauma? And we only on episode 3, 4. I'm just like, 4? Girl, please, no more trauma. But that it was like it confused me more than anything, because you guys just had this awesome sexual experience together. Why ruin it by forcing yourself on him? And it just kind of goes back to what people say, like rape. It's all about dominance and claiming that territory, because you saw they happily and consensually had sex the first time, but it's like, that's not good enough for me. I actually want to dominate you. And I was just like, wow, you are so sick. I agree. I was kind of heartbroken too. It was just like, wow. I just wish that Damon would have stayed, then Damon could have beat his ass.
Okay.
Oh, that probably
Beat him
wouldn't even
up.
happen. Yeah.
I think it's just, when it comes to the production of things, I think it was awesome being able to show that scene and how powerful it is, because I think a lot of times, especially in the Black community, it's often questioned with men if they are raped or, that they don't really get sexually assaulted. And being able to show that it happens in the Black community as well as in the LGBTQ, excuse me if I'm forgetting any letters, community as well, that it happens. I think that was a good thing for us to all see as a wake-up call as well too. And it was just too much. I wanted to smack him in the head because I'm like, see, this is why you should have been the one just watching, because now you don't know how to act. I wanted him to be, because he was like you could see like he tried to get up a little bit, he couldn't get up, and it was just like he just ripped his little pants down. It was too much, and I really hope somebody beat him up, because nobody he needs to get beat up.
Yes. And I want to say, even though he had consent the first time, I feel like he felt the vibe of Kwame. He should have known that, like, even when they were actually doing it, he should have was like, oh no, he's not feeling this. Like, so it was just very disgusting to watch. So Malik, I hope we never see him again. We don't even need a testimony or what happened. We don't care. He's done. So that was episode 4.
Well, real quick, Sierra, can I just point out that I think that maybe in Malik's mind, it's like, I had consent, so now I can do what the hell I want. And I think crazy. That happens a lot too. So like when you go to the cops and you're like, well, we did have consensual sex, but then we didn't. And it's like, well, what's that line? And what's, it blurs things very easily. And I think that might have been part of the plan. And I'm hoping Damon beats his ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking that same thought, but like I said, at the end of the day, whether we did it or not, if there's trying to be another, if I say no, that's it.
No,
it's no
100%
about it. Yeah, so I don't care if we just did. If you want to go again, I'm sorry. The answer is no, and you should just respect it. That's just no. Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't make it okay at the end of the day. So don't ever think it's okay, guys. If you're watching, it don't matter. But that was episode 4. Very heavy episode. I don't think nothing was fun about it. So Michaela, next time name it more accordingly. And I think really fast we can do our special segment. So do you have that, Lauren? Special segment?
Yes, I did the tweet thing. If you guys remember last week, we're gonna do a tweet based on a scene or just the overall show. So this week my tweet was just say no, because both Michaela and Kwame unfortunately had a horrible results based on saying yes to sex. So I'm saying you should have said no.
Okay.
That's good. I'll go.
I thought we always got to think.
The same every week.
I was going to say my tweet will be the least I've ever been turned on by sex scenes. Hashtag old guy in the club.
Okay.
I agree with you. Definitely the least I've ever been turned on.
Okay. I guess with me, my tweet will be like a little spin off. But my tweet will say no means no. So, and that means when it comes to like drinks, that comes with that condom, that comes with him getting raped, all of that. No means no.
You guys, this is so good. I think I'm just gonna go with something very basic. What's mine is mine. And I think we kind of twist it and use it. My body, what's mine is mine. My man, what's mine is mine. All that, what's mine is mine. So it can go for all of this, generic. Okay.
All right.
Okay. And then do we have any news and gossip really quickly?
We
No?
do actually. So express.uk or express.co.uk is a news website. Express is actually a paper in the UK. And there was an article, what was Michaela Cole's inspiration for I May Destroy You, for the show? We all know that this is an emotive series that deals with difficult themes, including sexual assault, both physical and verbal abuse. So back in 2018, Michaela actually opened up about being sexually assaulted after she had popped out for a drink with friends. She said, I don't really know if I made a choice to write it. I think writing it was a way of trying to survive it. I began to separate myself from the event. It was a way for me to get closer to the trauma. In terms of actually creating the series, I had 2 years of therapy and needed the time to sit down and have some silence and some space to create a fictional show about it. But speaking to friends about how common this is made me feel like I wasn't alone, and it empowered me to create the series. So you can read the full article. There's a link in the notes, but very interesting that this is very, based on true events in our own life, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's some good. I'm glad you confirmed that, because I know we both kind of hinted at it, Lauren, kind of like, why so much trauma, Michaela? But as I watched, I'm kind of thinking like she maybe went through these things. So that's good that, you confirmed that. So it kind of makes it more, it still kind of hurts to watch it, but it kind of makes it more like understanding in a way. So sorry, Michaela, but we love the show. And that was, so that's all we have for this episode. A really good conversation, though. Although it was a lot of trauma, it was a very good conversation, a very interesting episode. So till next week, we'll have episode 5 next week, the same day. I'm your host, Sierra Stafford. You can find me on my social media at Sierra Stafford TV. And where can they find you, Sanaa?
Yes, you got.
Did you say Sanaa or Sean? I'm sorry.
Sanaa. No, you go ahead, Sean. You go ahead,
I'm so sorry. I'm just jumping all over the place today.
No, you did. I didn't know what. Look, anytime I hear an S, I think it's me. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sean.
You can find me on the gram at SeanStar75, on Twitter at Gorilla Suit Sean, and on the finale, the series finale of Council of Dads, this Friday at 7 p.m.
I think Sanaa, you got it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, I didn't want to throw on no show. You guys make sure to hit that follow button on Instagram at @IAM_Sanaa_, so that's SANA, and as well as on Twitter at @IAM_Sanaa. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. for 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. We have a lot of tea to let y'all know about.
That was a good show.
And you can find me on social media at Lauren the Truth.
Yeah, so thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.